Today I wanted to talk a little about charity. I was just thinking about what I did like last weekend. I collected a whole bunch of clothes that nobody was using and I gave it to my maid. Right? So I don't know whether you'll do that from time to time. Hold of a whole bunch of things that you don't need and then you give it away. Right? That's it. I mean, I'm not saying that that's bad charity, but that kind of charity we all do. You know, we give away all the things that we don't really require. You have people that are willing to lend you, give you all those things that they don't need, but the things that they really value, you know, like that splendid camera that I couldn't get hold of the day I wanted to take a video. Remember the photographs? And I was trying to get a camera, somebody to give me a camera, and nobody will give me their splendid camera. But everyone is willing to give me the other one that doesn't work so well, you know. Because that's okay if that breaks. But I can't give you the one that's really good. Right? I remember there was a story I read when I was a child. I don't know if any of you have read it about, I can't remember the title of the story. It's a short story about this char woman in London who cleans a house, and she has to go for this expensive dinner, and her the lady, you know, gives her a Dior dress to wear, right? And she spills something on it, and she spends every penny she's earned to return that. And when she returns it, the lady said, she says, "Oh, here's your dress," and she says, "Oh, that's just a knockoff. I didn't even pay $20 for it." Right? These expensive things that we take from people, we don't even want to take it, right? Because we're scared that something's going to happen and we'll never be able to return it. It's very easy to give away things you don't like. I mean, I've got a house full of things that you don't like. How about all those things that you really value? How easy is it to share that? The comfort of your home. You know, there's an ad that comes on Indian television where a young couple are sleeping in the living room with their little child so that their mother's friends can get the bedroom, visiting, and they have one bedroom and they sleep in the living room and they have the baby enjoying sleeping on the floor while they've given their bedroom to their mother's friends so that they can be comfortable. You know, a lot of people would not be willing to do that, right? They would never give up their room for anyone else. There are people that will never give their car to anybody else. They're so attached to it. This is called in Sanskrit moha, attachment. We are attached to everything to the extent that our life depends on it. We'll never give those things away. Which is why in our Hindu tradition, the greatest charity is called Kanya Danam. Kanya means young girl or virgin, and Danam is charity, and it's done at the time of your marriage when the father gives away his daughter to the groom. Because that's supposed to be your greatest wealth. Your daughter, your child is supposed to be your greatest wealth. And you give that child in marriage. That's supposed to be one of the greatest acts of charity. But there's a movement that nowadays with all this women's empowerment, saying that we neither belonged to our father nor do we wish to belong to the groom, so we don't wish to be given away, right? You know. But it's symbolic. I think it's symbolic. It's a symbolic gesture of that attachment that you have with your child. You must move beyond thinking about it literally into thinking about what it means for you. When your child grows up, do you let that child go? Do you share that child with the rest of the world? Or do you hold on to everything that you can? Try to hold on as much as possible. But that which you hold on to never really stays. And this is true of even your closest relationships with your parents and with your spouse. The more you try to hold on and try to possess and try to own, the less it belongs to you. The more irritation and the more anger and the more frustration comes into that relationship, because you never own anything. You can't own a relationship. In reality, you don't even own all the items that you think you own. They're just there. They're as much energy as you are. You're gone and they're gone too. Over a period of time, and when everything is broken down, nothing matters. It's all made up of the same 5 elements. Yet we think this is the most important things in our life. We hold on to it, we won't share it. We will not give this away. We will not share it with anybody. I mean, I've seen so many friends in our culture. Your mother and your in-laws, they stay with you. Always. Your sisters, your aunts. You never book them into a hotel near your house. Ever. You would never do that. Right? So, I mean, it's different in every culture. But it's all about that feeling of belonging and what belongs to you and what doesn't belong to you. What you share and what you don't share. If you have $500, will you give that away? The last $500 you possess. And somebody really needs it. Are you capable of giving that away? No. That is mine. I need that. That's my money. I spoke to one gentleman when I was writing my book. And he says that he did a Art of Living Silence course. And in that course, there was a young girl who really wanted to become a teacher. And the cost for doing that course was $1,500. And in his bank balance, he had checked that morning. That was all he had. He had no job. His job had just gone. But this girl needed it so much, he said, he paid for her course. And she was overjoyed, and she did the course, she became a teacher, and then she started teaching, and she tried to send the money back. But he says, then I didn't need it, because 2 weeks later, my wife got a job for double the salary she earned previously, and I got a job at double my salary that I was earning previously, and we were taken care of. That is the highest. When you can give away your last dollar without a care in the world, because you feel the abundance in your heart. Because somebody's need is so great. That is true generosity. And if you can only give away things you don't want, then I ask you, please give away your anxiety. Please give away your stress. Please give away your bad thoughts. Please give away your negative energy. Give it all away. Put it in a box and throw it away. Why do we keep that? We hold on to that. We all do. I do too. I struggle with it on a daily basis. And when I bring up these topics with you, it's what I struggle with also. Every day I use the knowledge. Every day I use the knowledge maybe 500,000 times a day to tell myself, I don't need this. I have to be happy right now. I have to feel abundance right now. I have to give away everything that is negative. I don't need this. I don't need the sadness that goes along with it, because I have decided long back that it's happiness that I want, right? Acts of charity strengthen you. They strengthen you and they give you back far more than you can ever imagine. You know, I mean, you wonder how people like Mother Teresa dedicate their entire life to doing for others without any thought of themselves. And you look, you go everywhere. You go, to these shelters, or you go to, I mean, especially now with the Nepal, the earthquake, the way there's an outpouring of money and effort. People are just getting into planes and going. The aftershocks are going to come. Who knows what meets them there, what devastation is there. But they don't care. They go anyway. They go regardless. And I admire that. Unfortunately, among a lot of the aid workers, there is no method to rejuvenate. If they don't have a deep spiritual practice, dealing with this type of misery on a daily basis does not allow them to rejuvenate. However, missionary and like those type of organizations that go with any spiritual group, they have this richness of their meditative practices, or their prayer, which helps them to rejuvenate, especially when you all are working with in healthcare and all of this. You understand what I'm talking about. You're dealing with a lot of pain a lot of the time, and this is one thing that spiritual practice is needed, because we're tied down with our conditioning, our culture, the way we've been brought up, how you're supposed to think of only yourself and your success. It's I, me and mine, my 2 children, that's it. I might include their wives, or I may not. I might include the others, or I may not, right? We make our circle extremely small. And then when they do things, to upset us, it's very upsetting. Because we are caught in this world of moha, attachment. All these things that we possess, all these people that are with us, so important to us, what they say, what they think. We are not willing to share that with anybody and forget giving it away. We can never give it away. But the things that really are a burden, those we really need to give away. And we have to be aware of what we're doing. What are we doing to our lives? Just holding on to all of this continuous stress and pain and expectation, and waiting for things to happen, and waiting for things to pan out. It's very interesting to be in a group of children. I would love to teach meditation to children to see what kind of an effect it has, because their enthusiasm automatically lifts you up. See, we lost that. We lost that natural connection with our Creator. When we were young, we were very connected to our Creator. That's why we were always enthusiastic and happy. We didn't remain sad for long. We bounced back very quickly. You see how babies, they cry when they don't get their milk, they get their milk, they're happy. Right? Very quick, the transitions. The sadness doesn't, it's not like, oh my God, my mother's not giving me my milk, what am I going to do? This is what always happens to me, you know. My life really sucks, my mother delays my milk they never do that. That is something we have taught ourselves to do. That is something we have taught ourselves. And that is what we need to give away to charity. So you're either an extremely charitable person or you're not. But the sooner you learn to give it all away, I think the less burdened we'll all be. The more light our lives can go on. Because we only have this day. And if this day is not perfect as it is, then we have nothing. Because tomorrow and the rest of our lives is just another collection of todays. And if we never made today work, then we have to re-examine how we're living our lives. It has to work today. We have to make it happen. Charity has to be our very nature. Give as much love as you can, as much understanding as you can. Share the benefits of this meditation, not only with this group, but with the rest of the community, the rest of the world. You have so much to give, not just your old clothes and all your bad energy. You've got so many things that are good to give and share. Give and you will receive. Every scripture says that. You know, whether it's Islam or Christianity or Hinduism, every scripture talks about giving selflessly. You know, thinking of a project, and I think that'll be a nice thing for us to work towards, finding something that we can work on the weekends maybe, or a project or something that we can take care of. You know, we spend not just money but a little time doing something for a cause in our own community that we live in. Don't have to go very far. There are many people that need things. It's just that we haven't focused our energy on figuring out what to do. I'm sure it'll come to us, and if we keep an eye out for that and we do it together, it'll bring the group together even more. And you know, better, even bigger and better things can happen. So, I always say charity begins at home. So we will resolve today to give away that which we don't want, since that's what we're used to doing. We give away our negative energy today. We will give away our stress. We will give away our envy and jealousy and anger and all the other emotions. And we will remain calm and peaceful and enjoy that for the rest of the week.